Hey, today is everybody's favorite topic, dividing polynomials. So let's start out with something that we won't struggle with too much. Let's go with divide 18x cubed plus 9x squared minus 15x by 3x squared. So I would probably usually write this as this, 18x cubed plus 9x squared minus 15x all over 3x squared. You've done things like this before, so you probably remember that we're really dividing each part of this trinomial by 3x squared. So we're doing 18x cubed over 3x squared plus the 9x squared over 3x squared minus the 15x over 3x squared. So when I'm asking you to divide this, we're dividing each part. Okay, so we're just going to look at each part and simplify it. So 18x cubed over 3x squared, that's 6x. 9x cubed over 3x squared, 9x squared over 3x squared, that's just 3. 15x over 3x, if you factored that out, that's going to be a 5 and a 1. That's like a regular 1 and an x. So it's going to be minus 5 over x. And that would be the simplified form of that polynomial divided by the monomial. Okay? Why don't you try one by yourself? So I want you to divide 3m cubed minus 6m squared plus m, all divided by 3m squared. So I'm going to set it up the same way. 3m cubed divided by 3m squared minus 6m squared over 3m squared plus m divided by 3m squared. Okay, and I'm going to look at each part. This first one, cross cancel, that's just going to be an m. So m minus, this is going to be 2 plus, okay, that's going to be just an m and a 1. 1 over 3m. You should have gotten m minus 2 plus 1 over 3m. Okay, so if we're dividing a polynomial by a monomial, you can just divide each part relatively simply and just like you've done in the past. Okay, but then we're going to get into stuff that's a little bit more complicated. When we're dividing stuff that's harder than that, division of polynomials is similar to numerical division. So we're talking about long division here. So take yourself back to 4th grade and we're going to review how that works. Because if you don't remember how long division works, it makes this dividing polynomials by long division very tough. So we're going to try a couple problems that are just numbers, just so you review it and see how you do. And then we'll go out and do something, some more complicated with the algebra. So 52 divided by 6, I just want you to remember how to long divide. So you're going 6 into 52. So remember, you're looking at each part first. So you're saying, like, does 6 go into 5? No, so then you check 6 into 52. Yes, it goes in 8 times. 8 times 6 is 48. So remember, you bring down the 48 and then you subtract. 52 minus 48 is 4. And then if you make it a decimal, you'd put the point and the 0 zeros, but we're going to deal with the fractions today. So once you have our remainder, you started out with just writing this as 8 remainder 4. Then you got a little bit more complicated and you said, oh yeah, that's 8 and 4, 6. And because you guys are smart, you can reduce that to 8 2/3. Okay, but remember it's going to be, your remainder goes over 6, okay, your divisor. Let's try this. Actually, I really want you to try 3150 divided by 41 on your own, but I'm going to work it out too. So if I did 3150 divided by 41, okay, so I look and I say 41 doesn't go into 3 any times. 41 doesn't go into 31 any times. So I'm going to guess 41 into 315. Since 4 times 8 is 32, it's going to be close to that, but I guess it's a little under. So I'm going to put 7, and I'm putting it above the 315 because that's what I'm going for. And I'm going to multiply. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. Okay, and then remember I'm subtracting. Okay, so you got all these lovely skills you might have to borrow. I changed the 1 to a 0 and that to 15. So I'm going to go 15 minus 7 is 8. And then personally I would do 30 minus 28 is 2. And we get 28. And then don't forget we need to bring down the 0. And so I'm going 41 into 280. Well, it's going to be close to 7, but remember 7 was 287, so I'm going to guess 6 this time. So 6 times 41, 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract. Okay, so again, borrow. 10 minus 6 is 4, 7 minus 4 is 3, Okay, and 34 is my remainder. So 76 is my whole number, 34 is my numerator, 41 is my denominator. So 76 and 34/41 is my answer to this long division problem. So hopefully you were able to get that on your own. Okay, because we're going to need these skills when we divide polynomials. So here we go. Here's like a normal problem that you will be working with. Divide x squared plus 2x minus 30 by x minus 5. Okay, so x squared plus 2x minus 30, that's your dividend. Okay, x squared plus 2x minus 30. And you're dividing it by x minus 5, which is your divisor. Okay, similar to how we do with numbers, we're making like kind of an educated guess. And how you want to approach long division is just look at the leading terms right now. So just look at the x and the x squared at first. What you're trying to figure out is how many times does x go into x squared? In other words, x times what is x squared? And you should know that it is x. X times x is x squared. So x goes into x squared x times. When you find out how many times it goes in, put it over the term that's the same power as it. So I'm going to put it over this 2x because x has a degree of 1 and 2x has a degree of 1. So I'm going to put it over that same thing. And then just like I did here, I did 7 times 41. Here I'm going to do x times x minus 5. So x, when I multiply it by x minus 5, if you need to multiply it out like that, that's fine. You're going to use the distributive property. I try to do it as much mentally as I can. But x times x minus 5, the quantity is going to be x squared minus 5x. Okay? And once I have that, just like I did before, I'm going to subtract it, but I'm subtracting this whole thing, so I need to be pretty cautious. So x squared minus x squared, that's 0, I don't need to put it. 2x minus negative 5x, that's 7x. Okay? So now I have 7x minus 30. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. So if I'm looking for my leading terms first, so I'm looking at x and 7x. And x goes into 7x 7 times, so I'm going to put plus 7 here. And 7 times the quantity x minus 5, again, write it out if you need to. Otherwise, just multiply in your head. That's going to be 7x minus 35. Okay, now again, I'm subtracting this entire thing. So 7x minus 7x is 0. That's what we want to happen. That's good. Negative 30 minus negative 35 is a positive 5. So 5 is my remainder. So just like I did in this previous problem above, x plus 7 stays, and then I'm going to actually write a plus sign in this case. 5 is my numerator, and my original divisor, x minus 5, is my denominator. So x plus 7 plus 5 divided by x minus 5, or 5 over x minus 5, is my answer to this problem with polynomials. When you're trying to check, you can read some of this at the end, but you're going to try to show that the divisor times the quotient plus the remainder equals the dividend. So in other words, if I wanted to check that I was right, I'll try to do this in red here, I'd want to see if x minus 5 times x plus 7, and if I added the remainder to that, okay, plus 5, which was my remainder, I want to know if that's really equal to my dividend, which was this original x squared plus 2x minus 30. So if I distribute this all out, I'm going to get x squared, a plus 7x and a minus 5x is a plus 2x. Minus 5 times 7 is minus 35, plus 5. You can see that that's going to add up to negative 30. So it is going to check out, and that's going to work. Okay, let's do some more. All right, so I want you to divide 5x squared plus 2x minus 3 by x plus 2. Okay, I want you to attempt to do this on your own if at all possible, but you may need some serious assistance for a while, especially if your long division skills are weak. Okay, so again, I'm going to start dividing x plus 2 into 5x squared plus 2x. I'm going to look at the leading term, so x into 5x squared. That goes in 5x times. I'm going to put it over above the other x term. Then I'm going to multiply 5x by x plus 2. So that's going to be 5x squared plus 10x. And now I'll subtract that. So that's going to be 0, and then 2x minus 10x is negative 8x. I've got negative 8x minus 3. So again, I'm going to look at my leading terms. X goes into negative 8x negative 8 times. Then I'm going to multiply. Negative 8 times x is negative 8x. Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. And I'm going to subtract. Okay, so negative 8x minus negative 8x, nothing. Negative 3 minus negative 16 is positive 13. That's my remainder. And my answer should be 5x minus 8 plus 13 over x plus 2. And because of sake of time, I'm not going to show the check, even though I say to. All right. This is important. Before you divide, sometimes they don't have like all the terms. You want to check to make sure both the dividend and divisor are in standard form so that they're ordered greatest to least powers. And then if a power is missing, like if there's no x squared or no x or something, but they have the ones before it and after it, you want to add a term of that power with a 0 coefficient because that's going to make everything line up nicely and be able to subtract out well. So let's try this problem. It's going to use this technique. The width and the area of a rectangle are shown in the figure below, and I want to know what the length is. So it's important to know that length times width equals area. So if you know the area and you know the width, area divided by the width is going to give you the length. So the area is 6x cubed minus 5x squared. Notice there's no x term, so we're going to put in plus 0x minus 9 because it's going to make this problem much easier for me if I have that 0x in there. I'm going to divide it by 2x minus 3. Okay, so when I do that, I'm going to do the exact same process. So you should give this a try on your own because without really practicing it and trying it independently, you're not going to get good at it. So again, 2x into 6x cubed, I'm just looking at those leading terms, that goes in 3x squared times. So I'm going to put it above the x squared term. Then 3x squared times 2x is 6x cubed. 3x squared times a negative 3 is a minus 9x squared. And I'm subtracting. Okay, so it's 0 and then 4x squared. So now I have 4x squared plus 0x. I'm going to use another color. Look at the leading terms. 2x goes into 4x squared 2x times. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times a minus 3 is a negative 6x. Okay, I'm subtracting. So that's just going to be 6x minus 9. Now I'm going to try one more. So 2x goes into 6x, positive 3 times. 3 times 2x minus 3, that's going to be 6x minus 9. That's really convenient because we have no remainder. So my whole final answer should be 3x squared plus 2x plus 3 inches in this case. All right. All right, if we can get this one more done, I'll be pleased. You're going to divide negative 8x minus 2 plus 6x squared divided by negative 1 plus x. So this is all tricky because it's not ordered very prettily. So we want to reorder it into standard form. So this is going to be 6x squared minus 8x minus 2. And we're going to make this one x minus 1. And then it just becomes a straightforward problem just like you've had before. So 6x squared minus 8x minus 2 divided by x minus 1. All right, again, please try it on your own if you can. And we're going to look at the leading terms. X goes into 6x squared 6x times. 6x times x is 6x squared. 6x times minus 1 is negative 6x. Okay, subtracting. That's going to be negative 2x minus 2. Okay, x goes into negative 2x. Negative 2 times. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1 is a plus 2. Okay, I'm going to subtract. So negative 2, negative 2x minus negative 2x is 0. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. Okay, so it looks like I should have 6x minus 2 plus negative 4 over x minus 1. Or you very well may just write minus 4 over x minus 1. All right, I want to show you a chart. That would be, it's on page 684 in your book. It's a pretty helpful chart, and I want you to refer to it as needed whenever you're getting stuck on something. To divide a polynomial by a polynomial, you can follow these steps. 1, put both the dividend and the divisor in standard form. 2, divide the first term of the dividend by the first term of the divisor, and that will be your first term in the quotient. 3, multiply the first term of the quotient by the divisor and put the product under the dividend, subtract, and then bring down the next term, and then keep doing step 2 through 5 as much as you can until that degree in the remainder is less than the degree of the divisor, then you're done. All right, we'll practice this a lot and good luck.